Hello athletes, welcome to my channel. Hopefully you enjoyed those close-up of the video that I did and those pictures for the new Shimano SH-TR9. These shoes are like the 2020 model, so please when you're searching out there, you may find the old model, the 2019 forward, which they look very similar to my old shoes. They're like this. I'll post a picture on the corner so you can tell the difference. The new shoes look much like this with a much lower profile, narrower. So the old ones and anything that it was built around by Shimano around these times, I think there were like a lot of models, the SH-TR9, 35, 5 and 9, and there were I think a 52 out there as well. They were all built with the same profile, and the reason I'm pulling my old one is because I wanted to show you that it's much narrower than the old ones, much lower. You can tell like the profile on this one, and these ones were built literally like to be a tank. To be honest, I have spent and wasted money on so many things for triathlon just because I like to try things out, but these are the first and only triathlon shoes for the bikes that I ever had. These things just like they were, like I said, they were like a tank. They last forever. I only changed the clips, the insoles, and they kept going. I'm just changing it right now because the Velcro finally started giving out on my, as you can tell, the end of the tank is starting bending and my toes are hitting the end of the shoe, so it's really hurting after long rides, 3 hours or more. Okay, let's go on the shoe itself. As you can see, the first thing that is noticeable with a new shoe is that it has perforations for air and quick dry all over. It has there, it has that, and then on the inside it has all over that. So I have already tested the shoes very quickly. They are very good, very easy. It has a big opening in the middle here. That's a change from the prior model shoes that I was showing you. So it will be very easy to fit the shoe in there. And that's good that it has that, because the strap in the back, as a quick observation, is made a little bit of like a rubberish material. It's not quite that synthetic leathered, but you can tell that if you pull this like with too much strength, it may break, especially because it has these kind of like little cuts over there that it kind of like rip from there on. Still, this is not as strong as the old one, but I did a test a little bit, and it will hold, especially if you open this properly. Now, one thing that I want to note before I forget, if you compare the size from your old shoes, if you happen to have any model like this one from 31, 35, any of the old models, the size for those shoes were like, I used the European side, sorry, because the American side, the US size that they ever come in for, they were like 11.2. And I know that I never use anything even that small. I always use anything that is 12 or 12 and a half. So yeah, for me, it's like I have big flippers, so I always look for that. But for these shoes, believe it or not, I just use the European number because I could reference better than the 11.2 when I purchased them. With that said, these ones, when I start looking at it, you can tell that it's a narrower profile, much like lower profile at the heel, which is that's something that it makes you feel kind of weird because it feels that the shoe is going to come off. So there is a learning period, I guess. I had to get used to that, since the other ones will wrap my ankle a little bit more than these ones. But anyway, these ones are 47, which are like almost an 11.8 or around 12 US size for men. So that's something that you had to have in mind. You had to do your test, or maybe measurements, or even call where you find them. I have not seen a lot of websites carrying these. I found these ones in Competitive Cyclist website. They have a lot of models, sizes there, and they have a lot of information. Maybe you want to give them a call if you want to be more precise or sure about which size you want to buy for yourself. But as a reference, I'm 6 feet, and I went from the old model that it was 46 to 47, and they fit me exactly the same, like I was saying. Now, continuing with the shoes, The leatherette, like I was saying, is lighter and more flexible. So if the shoe is it feels a little bit tight on the front part because it's narrower, it does give you a little bit of leeway for the toe to come out. Like I was saying, the leatherette is a little bit more giving than the old shoes, so it will mold to your feet. The strap, compared with the older model and even the model that I'm wearing right now, it is a little bit more smaller. It's not as wider, this section over here, and it's definitely like thinner, but it ties firmly. I already tested it, and I think it's just compared with my old shoe would feel that way. The TR9s, the old model as well as this one, have the little strap on the front. The other ones that didn't. In my case, I just left it kind of let it open, so it gives the shoe the chance to open itself up. Now, the other big highlight of the shoe, definitely the carbon sole. The bottom part, I never had that before. Like I said, this is a shoe that is kind of like trying to be more on the higher end and more on the competitive side. It's not the best shoes out there. For $275, I think you're getting a pretty good shoe, but there are like expensive shoes that you can get out there for $350, for $400 or even more. They're all kind of crazy stuff that is more expensive than that, but still $275 is quite an investment. Again, these are not shoes just for the feeling. It's not a shoe that is going to last 12 years. It's probably a shoe that I would keep. Once you break it in, I will keep it like either for your races or like rides that you kind of like want to feel a little bit better, more like testing race kind of situations. It does have a little bit more cushion on the bottom part than my old shoes. The other ones have like 2 strips on the corners, and that was it. These ones, as you can tell, it actually has a pretty good amount of rubber in there, so that would be a good thing. It's not we're going to be working a lot on them, but that's important. One thing to note that these shoes, compare like with any other ones, are much better is the insole that they're coming with. It's a typical like kind of rubbery, plasticky insole. So it's not really anything great. If you need like support or anything like that better than these, you probably would need to buy your own ones and put them in. Now, be conscious that this is kind of like a small profile, so anything that you put bigger than this or thicker, it will change the profile of the shoe and maybe like make it like tighter on the top part of the shoes on the outside. But at least compared with anything on the old, it feels much better. It has a better like heel box that it traps a little better, and it has a little neat change from any other years. It comes with these removable straps. Heel supports. So it comes with the medium and it comes with the high. If you want more support, if you're like kind of the person that needs more support on the heel, you can put the high. You should check the strap out. It comes with a standard with the medium, but you just can remove that and put the red one, and perfect. It gives a little bit more support. It does. I did change it like in both of them on and off, and this one is a little bit firmer and a little bit thicker, so it gives a little bit more there. So that's a good thing to know. Sometimes we forget about having good support on the triathlon shoes just because we think we are sockless and we're stepping more on the ball of the shoe than anything else. The sole also has the little air intake that it connects with the bottom part. That's the connection there. The rest of the shoe, the insole, like I said, is clean. Obviously, right now it hasn't been used. Eventually, it's just finished like probably like something like this. It has good measurements. All kind of like shoes these days, honestly, have like good reference guides for that. So it has a little bit of rubber on the top. To be honest, hopefully I don't step too much on this one. It seems that it could be the type of rubber that it will go away easily. The rest of the shoe, like I said, it continues like a low profile. It has this nice small, sometimes I think when I look at it, it's like, just because for me it's kind of small, but it looks like a cute like shoe heel box because it's so small. But honestly, the heel goes in there very nicely, and the shoe almost wraps around, which is a difference for these ones, as you can see. And I think that these ones are like probably like deformed, but this one, it was more kind of like giving you a little room, like kind of protecting the shoe, right? I mean, your feet. This one is a shoe that honestly, the first thing I thought when I put them on is like it wrapped my feet. It's like really close, really tight. And the low profile is on the heel. Like I was saying, that it continues all across the feet. And then the toe box is the same. It's a low profile compared with the other ones. The other shoes and the other models will probably go the toe box, it will go all the way up there. That's what I was saying, that when the strap it got worn out, my toes were like hitting the front part of the shoe and it's starting to hurt that. And these ones, you can see that even this rubber is a little bit more like flexible. You can see like my finger like digging into there. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The shoe is designed that way to keep the weight down. Like I was saying, the weight as a reference, 230 grams, the size 8.5 for men. So these ones, I'm sure, are a little bit more than that, since they're like almost a 12. Something that is neat, obviously for me, is an extra. Other high-end shoes have that a lot. The good protection all around it. The end of what it would be the tongue, it has that. Since the strap is really strong, I think that is important that they put a little more cushioning in here. So if we like made mistakes about how hard we tie the strap, we don't really hurt ourselves. So at least there is a little bit more giving before we start having some pain, and we can adjust. The rest of the shoe, I mean, honestly, I wear them like a little bit, and I didn't feel any immediate like rashes or scratches or anything like that. So it's definitely designed for going like sockless. Anyway, that's pretty much my review and my first look on these shoes. Like I said, they're very light. They're meant to be for performance. So nothing like I don't think like to say like I've done crazy stuff, for example, to grab these ones. I used them even for mountain biking at one point. So definitely not this kind of a shoe, but very light. Like I said, 230 grams for the 8.5 size, $275. It's probably a good higher end and new redesign for the Shimano's shoes. It will be interesting if they are going to release more models. They haven't released anything for other variations of these yet, which probably will be in a lower end. It'll be interesting if they're just going to just work with this. Anyway, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments area, and I'll try to just give you my impressions in base of what I tested. Thank you for watching.